What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So I just paid for Z Warriors, so that should ship next week. Extremely excited. The first in-hand photos looked insanely good. I always find it so wild when people are comparing it to Infinite Studios, and it's just so blatantly obvious that KD's like 30 billion times better, yet some people still like Infinite more. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but for me, KD is. That Z Warriors will be the best DBZ statue ever made. And I'm really excited for his Goku versus Vegeta prototype, because man, the 3D print, like unpainted proto, looks so good. Anyways, I kind of wanted to do a video somewhat similar to yesterday, where I talked about if I was to move to a new, larger home, how I would do my man cave. Now I want to talk about what if I was to move into a smaller home. So right now my house is about 3,000 square feet. We have about 1,500 square feet of statue space right now. And let's say I had to cut this in half. Let's say I moved to a townhome and I basically had 2 bedrooms to do statues. Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, that reselling my let's say I needed to sell the statues, I'd be able to sell all of them equally for what I paid. So it's just a matter of what would I downgrade to? And we can just call it 2 bedrooms, the size of maybe, let's just say this room and the video game room. Let's just say that. Like I have a townhome, 2 bedroom downstairs. Alexa, turn on Transformer statue room lights. I don't know why that light's not turning on. It's supposed to turn on. Alexa, turn on man cave. There you go. All right. So I have thought about this quite a bit. How I would downsize the cave if I was to severely downsize it. And I've kind of come to 2 conclusions. There's 2 ways we could go about this. Option A would be Grails only, like extreme Grails. We're talking like Godzilla vs. Kong, Shockwave, and Optimus. And I would still have a ton of IPs. However, I'd have way less of that IP. Like Transformers, I'd still probably have that Megatron. So let's just say Megatron, Shockwave, Optimus, Lord of the Rings. Maybe just stick to the 3 busts. That's it. The 3 busts. Keep Khaleesi bust and keep King Ghidorah from this room. That is all I'd keep from this room. We're basically going to go room to room, and I tell you what I'd keep. So from that room, we'd keep that. I would keep Rotunda T-Rex and the Raptor bust. Just that for Jurassic Park. And I guess technically I could keep at least that, because then I could wall mount it above this. So we'd do like a setup of Rotunda, T-Rex, Raptor bust, and T-Rex. For this room, obviously, I'm going to keep Kratos bust. I would probably just do video game 1/3. So I'd get the new Kratos 1/3. Obviously keep my clicker bust. We'd definitely keep them. I'd probably keep the entire top MK shelf. Keep all of that. And maybe do video game quarter scale underneath, or DBZ. For DBZ, I'd want to keep... God, it's such a tough one with DBZ. Goku and Vegeta life-size bust, and maybe Z Warriors. Or Prime 1 Goku and Vegeta with the busts. I need to get Z Warriors first, but maybe Z Warriors just because as every character... You get that with the 2 busts, you're kind of golden. But yeah, I'd have to definitely keep it very simple and just do like Kratos 1/3, Kratos bust, clicker bust, the entire MK 1/3 and bust line, and then DBZ would just be like Goku and Vegeta bust, and then either Z Warriors or Prime 1. In this room, it's simple. Basically, every life-size bust, not a single statue. That is how we would simplify having Marvel and DC. I would only have life-size busts and get rid of every statue in this room. because the busts are definitely the most impressive thing in my Marvel and DC setup, especially like Thanos. But downsizing, you just get rid of every statue. There's a lot of statues I love in this room, but if we had to make the sacrifices, that's what we would do. So for this room, for Alien and Predator, I'd only keep Big Chop to that. Horror line, I would definitely keep everything from Ghostface to this Arnold, including the 2 Blitzway 1/3. Definitely keep at least Chucky and probably Nunbust and probably Candyman. And for this wall, I definitely keep this display, at a minimum those 2, and at a minimum Hellboy 1/3, Abe Sapien 1/3, and Pan's 1/3. I could probably forego the bus if I didn't have the space. So that would be option A, is, as you can see, just kind of picking like the cream of the crop, different setups that are just super important to me. That's how I downgrade option A. I would, as long as all that could fit, we would basically kind of do that. Now let's talk option B. Option B would be getting rid of entire lines and just having specific lines that I love the most. So definitely one room would have to be horror focused. So basically everything from here. And then again, that as my Alien and Predator, keep Underworld and Blade and Hellboy. So kind of similar. I don't know if I'd keep all of the horror. I probably wouldn't do the 3 Chuckies. I'd probably just do that Chucky. And depending on space, like if we had to consolidate, let's say horror to 3 garage shelves. Yeah, I would. I don't know if I would keep Gremlins, Annabelle, Insidious, and those 2, because I'd want to move. Obviously, Freddy needs to technically be moved over. So I'd probably like lower Ghostface and do Ghostface and or Leatherface with Candyman in one shelf. We need to do Pennywise in the display with Nunbust. Like that could technically fit one garage shelf. Actually, you could still... Yeah, and I'd want to get Pumpkinhead 1/3. Nevertheless, horror would be my main focus of my entire collection, just because I like these statues so much. Horror with Terminator, a small AVP, modest setup, not multiple duplicates, only one of each character. I would only have one of each character unless it's a bust, like that's a setup. I would not have multiple of each character. Like right now, I technically have 5 Predator statues. In a smaller man cave, I'd only have 1 Predator statue, 1 Predator bust. So like that, for example, or this in the Deep Tail bust, which is set to ship soon. So I would simplify that, but definitely the focus would be basically what's in this room, but minus a lot of statues. Like obviously I wouldn't have Anubis and Cyclops and a few others, but definitely hardcore horror would be my main focus in one bedroom. In the second bedroom, I would probably just do video games. That would probably be the primary focus. As much as I love Marvel, DC, and everything else, video games is the greatest love of my life. If you know what I mean, for like hobbies. I just beat Dragon Age. I spent 110 hours beating that game. But the primary focus would be Prime 1 video game, quarter scale line. I do only quarter scale. I'd probably get rid of my MK 1/3. Keep the bust, maybe keep MK to a modest, like MKX setup, and maybe a few MK9. I'd want them all environmental bases, but basically keep those 3, Baraka, Shao Kahn MK9, and probably Kodo Khan with the 2 busts. It is hard because I do love the MK 1/3, but I really would want all my scaling to match, so I'd want to get rid of it. Similar to the other room, I'd only have 1/3 in bust in that room and life size, But the second room would be only video game. Primary focus is Prime 1 video game with a few life-size busts, like Clicker, Kratos, Black Myth Wukong, and then basically these type of statues. Boom. I'd pretty much only do Prime 1 for video games. Outside of, I guess, MK, since, MK would be a very modest MK. I may even only just do Scorpion Sub-Zero with the 2 busts, and that's it for MK. Very modest MK collection. The focus would be other video games like Jin Sakai, Kratos, Last of Us, and so forth. It'd be clean, nice looking, all quarter scale, life-size busts. That's it. And then, the rest would just be horror and life-size from this room. That would be pretty much the main focus of the collection if I had to downsize. Now, will I ever downsize? The only way I could see myself downsizing is in a divorce. Let's just say, now, let me set the table straight. Me and my wife are incredibly happy. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. She is so good to me, and I love her to death. So, obviously, I don't plan to divorce her. She means the world to me. But, God forbid, something happened, and I had to give up half my collection and move into a small town home or whatever. That's how I do my man cave, is that focus. So, one of those two options. Now, which option would I lean more towards? Honestly, probably the Grail option. It's hard to give up a lot of those really good statues. Like Khaleesi bust, Sauron, Thanos. Those are really tough to give up. Really tough. Anyways, folks, hopefully it never comes to this. Hopefully the option is either remain in this home or move to a newer home if I can make substantially more money in the future somehow. But time will tell. For now, obviously the man cave is here. But hopefully we'll be getting some statues real soon. I'm pretty confident next week we are going to be getting, at a minimum, 1 statue, maybe 2. But December obviously is going to be much better than November. Although November in general, outside of the fact I got 0 statues, was a really good month for me. I did fantastic at work and sales. And it was just a good month. Just outside of statues. It was a great month for me in general. And I think December is going to be fan-frickin-tastic in every possible way. That ginormous deal I told you guys about, massive commission, I should know next week if I'm going to get that. So fingers crossed, pray to the statue god Flankster gets it, because it's a ginormous commission. Anyways, folks, I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.